another member of our R&D team. He and Mike came down for 2 days, and the 2 days they were there to meet and greet, do some things, check out some clubs, check out some clothes and some shoes. And Mike said, I got to go back. And we said, Bryson, what are you going to do? He says, I'm just going to stay here. This is the coolest place on earth. I'm going to sit with your guys, and we're going to talk about golf clubs. So
yeah, for literally a week, I was there just sitting down with the R&D team, trying to work with them on making the set and make it better. You know, and it was a lot of fun experimenting, doing different things. Their 2018 lines and 2019 lines we were trying. It was a lot of fun, and we gained a lot of experience as well from that.
Yeah, we've been learning from Bryson as much as he's been learning from us. Really about Bryson knows how to play golf. He knows how to build his clubs. But he was learning some of the intricacies of how we do things on the computers, how we hit different targets of what we're trying to do. So it was a lot of great learning, and the guys love having him there. So we really enjoy every time he comes into town. As Mike as well. You know, they spend a lot of time hitting balls, a lot of time analyzing every shot, analyzing Bryson's swing. We have a great gears motion capture system. So it's a really great place for him to come and spend some time with us.
So that just went straight twice. That's pretty easy, right? It's kind of nice when you're able to do that. But it's a testament to these irons and how good they are. There's a reason why I came out here and flew 3,000 miles to show you guys, because this is definitely a game changer. I wouldn't be able to do it without this.
So when Bryson came in, we were prototyping these irons after some talks to him, and we got the first few sets, and we got him in, we were starting to show him around. Bryson said, those look really good, can I have those? And we said, yeah, go ahead, take these. And he took them right away and put them in play.
Yep.
And you know with an athlete, especially with Bryson's talent, that if they don't work better, he can tell right away. And when you can tell right away it's better, they can immediately switch it to something that's a better golf club.
You wanted to go straighter or?
Get your internet on.
Yeah.
One of the things that some of you may know about Bryson's stats is Bryson is one of the most accurate players on tour, and Mike Shy often says that Bryson is more accurate from 180 yards than many tour players are from 120 yards.
Can we ask questions?
Yeah.
I'd like to know, I'm a golf teacher, using one length, do I need to have my student and myself stand in the same posture as you, meaning the arms
Absolutely
and the shaft?
not.
I could have the traditional way of setting up, and it would still be...
So the question was, when you get the one length irons, do you have to swing like me? Now it would help, but no, I'm just kidding. So you don't have to. You can do it any way you want. The line angles are built for your golf swing for whatever you want to accomplish. The idea behind it being the same length makes it easier for you to consistently repeat your motion, whatever that is.
What about Bryson? Tell us about the grip.
Hang on a sec, guys. We got a lot of good questions. And one of the things that we talked with Mike and Bryson about, and Mike has been helping Bryson with this, obviously his swing and his clubs. Mike says he's had great experience with a lot of golfers. When you get students that want to go in and go the full Monty, if you will, to go to single plane swing, Mike is really happy that they want to make that effort, but it is more of an effort. So they do fit Mike fits many players with standard swings. In fact, you said about, what, 80, 90%, right, Mike?
Yeah.
You know, and we have a motto in our place, it's only if you want to be better. If you want to be better, try to swing that way.
Yep.
So we do like the way Bryson swings. My students love it. You know, the thing that I love to tell people about Bryson, I've known Bryson since he was about 8 years old. Worked with him 11, 12. Tried to throw him out many times. He just kept coming back. The great thing about Bryson is how much he loves kids. And he is always the first one at my place to go work with the kids. And of course, the first thing he does is try to give them a same length set of golf clubs. And so for us, for the last 5 years, that's been very difficult. So we've had to make some crazy clubs for some of our students. But they have adopted the motion that Bryson does. And it's not that hard. It's not that difficult for the kids if they have the right equipment when they start off. So we're excited. I'm most excited because I work mainly with juniors. I try to throw out all the adults, but sometimes they come back because they like the kids. And so we're real excited about the junior one-length clubs. It's so exciting to watch the kids play with the same length golf clubs. And the best part is that I'm not hitting my 6-iron good, and you look at them and go, it's the same as the 8-iron, so just swing it the same. So it's all good.
Yeah, and
And that's the cool thing about it too, is that as I've seen a couple of juniors play these one-length irons, it's amazing how quick their brain adapts to it, and how they're able to actually hit a forehand the same as they are a pitching wedge. But the distances are obviously proper, and that's a really cool aspect to see a kid who would initially struggle with variable length irons. I can't my forehand, go to a forehand or a five or whatever it is, and be able to hit it immediately. You just tell the kid it's the same club. Why wouldn't you want to try the one lengths? Why wouldn't you want to do that? It's easier. It's more consistent. It still performs the same way. If anything, it's more consistent on how you're striking the face, so it potentially could even go farther. And that's what people have to realize too, is that it's not just a benefit in consistency, but there's a potential benefit for distance as well.
Bryson, what's your line?
Well, the question is, what's your line?
Yeah. It's really upright. No, it's 72 degrees across the board. And so for normal 7-iron, what's a normal 7-iron line angle? It's probably like 62. So it's 10 degrees upright. And then you think about a 4-iron, how it's normally flatter than a 7-iron. So what's the 4-iron normally? A couple degrees flatter. So it's going to be potentially 14 degrees upright with a 4-iron. And that's just me. That's just how I play the game. Nobody has to play it that way. I think it's a little bit easier to, but you can do whatever way you want. The clubs are going to make you perform better.
So it's two things there. Mike mentioned the junior clubs. We do have the F7-1 available for the juniors now, and that was launched at the show. And secondly, when you think about getting people to have these swings, and it's really simple. You're just swinging every club like a 7-iron. And that's really easy. Anyone can swing a 7-iron with any shot. So the other question was on grips. Bryson, let's talk about your grips a little bit.
Yeah, so personally for me, these Jumbo Max grips have been revolutionary for me in my understanding of how to control the face. So if you were to think about it, in any other sport, there is not as small of a grip as the game of golf. Baseball, tennis, they're able to swing it at 90 miles an hour or whatever they swing it at. But what it allows them to do, especially for a tennis player, is allows them to control the face a little bit more. It's a fine-tuned skill to be able to control where the face is going in tennis. But they're able to swing it just as fast with a bigger grip. Now, most people think that they're going to miss it right. That would be the assumption. Am I correct? With a bigger grip, everybody would think that. But if we take the case, and this is where my hypothetical hypothesis scientific mind comes into play, if we take the opposite, where if we were to start people with a big grip, okay, they play for 15 years, and then they go to a small grip, what do you think they would do? Does anybody have an idea of what you think they would do? You think it would go left. That's what people would say. Now, it's actually the opposite. They still miss it right on average, from what we've experienced, from what I've researched with doing this at Mike's tent and things like that. So the reason is tension. You initially grip bigger grips a little tighter. Now over time you relax, and so you're able to control it. It's the same thing though with a small grip. You're starting out with a big grip and then going to small grip, you're still going to miss it right because you're trying to grip it tighter, so therefore your hands aren't able to rotate over. So it's not about the grip size that makes it go right. It's about the change in grip that allows you that makes you grip it tighter, that makes you hit it right, or whatever it is. So what this allows me to do, though, is control the face on another level. The reason is because there's more surface area that's touching my hand. So when there's more surface area touching my hands, there's more neurological input to my brain. I have a better understanding of where the face is because I'm holding more of the club. If it's just in the fingers, it's a very small and dull representation of where the face is. As I get more into the palm of my hand, more into the meat of my hand, I'm able to control the face at a different level.
Do you adjust how you hold the club to adjust for those larger grips?
Well, it's in part the way I swing the club as well. So yes, I do grip it a little differently than people putting it in the fingers, because what I wanted to do is increase the line angle so that I could swing on the same plane. So if I'm down here, it's going to be pretty difficult to create power by swinging on a lower plane angle. As I get my hands up, I'm able to swing it naturally, like you see people at the top of their golf swing. So all I did was configure impact throughout the whole golf swing. I try and make impact the whole golf swing, if that makes sense. So all I did is raised it up, and that allowed me with the big grips too, because I couldn't do it with the small grips by putting in the palms, to hold the whole club. I can't do it with small grips as I put it in the palm of my hand. So it's like I'm putting in the lifeline. That's what I'm doing. That's how I hit the golf shot. Just like that, and boom. Kind of like Mo Norman in a sense. But what the big grip allowed me to do is have more surface area contact, which allowed me to control the face. It is a little bit of a lighter swing weight, so it makes you feel like you can swing it faster, which we've done some testing with fly scope, and it actually does improve swing speed just a little bit too. So that's the main reason. But Jumbo Max grips are incredible. These are the largest grips. They go all the way down to Jumbo Juniors, and they're fantastic.
So yeah, we were also partnering with Jumbo Max grips. We have them available, and we think that there's a trend in grip size. The F7 ones and the Forge ones that Bryson plays, we do sell them standard with a bigger grip in the right hand. We've done some testing as well, like Bryson indicated, that we're seeing the trend towards bigger grip sizes. So we think that's definitely going to be beneficial for all golfers. Bryson, also talk about your swing, if you will, from a one length perspective, consistency and physical problems, back issues, things like that.
Yeah, so one of the biggest aspects or assets as well in the one length iron system is the fact that you don't have to change body posture. So I'll give you an example. At the Arnold Palmer Invitational last year, I played with a couple amateurs. It was in the Pro-Am, even though I was an amateur, kind of awkward, but at the time. But anyway, I played with some amateur partners, and we were going. We played 12 holes, and it was great. We were having a great time. And this guy in my group gets over a wedge. Wasn't a driver swing or anything like that. He gets over a wedge, right? And he's bent down over here, and he tries to hit the shot, and all of a sudden he falls to the ground. Done. Couldn't play, had to get taken off the course. And it hit me right then. I was like, wow, he hasn't played golf in over 3 or 4 months or whatever it was, he told me. And even in a small little motion of bending over and just trying to chip a shot, because of the posture change, his body couldn't hold himself because it wasn't used to that posture. As you start practicing the same posture, your body stabilizes itself in that motion, so that anytime you're making that motion, it wants to go to this motion anyway. So it's inherently a better way to perform the golf swing by staying in the same posture, because now you aren't changing any variables, or you're not having variables, you're cutting all the variables out. Which is one benefit for me, is that I don't have to worry about posture anymore. I've literally just adapted to where this is my posture every single time, no matter the situation. Even with my driver, I just move my hands up. That's another conversation, but for the irons, I'm here all day long. I can stay here all day long. And because I've practiced this motion, my back has become strong in this motion. So I don't need to do anything else. I don't want to do anything else. Plus, as I'm practicing my wedge, I'm also practicing my 4-iron, my 5-iron, 6-iron, 7-iron, 8-iron, 9, because they're all the same length, you know? And that's the cool.
The short game. A lot of people have a misconception that the short game gets bad.
Yeah, and people think that because there's it's a longer wedge, that you're not going to control your wedges as good. It's going to go too high. It's not going to, the whole deal. But I'm going to tell you one thing. That's how much more there is on the golf club from a normal wedge. It's not much, but what it allows you to do is retain the same posture, make the same swing, allow you to be more consistent on average. Okay, so as you practice with this over time, you will get better with your wedging a lot faster, just because it's the same swing, same motion, same everything. So you actually, in the fact that where people think that it's going to be the worst or perform the worst, it's actually one of the biggest benefits. And the cool part about it is that even though it is just this much of an increase in length, what it allows you to do, or what allows the shaft to do, is deflect more, which allows the ball to go up higher. When it deflects more, the shaft kicks, it means it increases in loft. What that does is allows me to hit huge high shots. So I can hit it over trees and crazy things that people would be like, how did that happen? I can hit it over the 10 or whatever from 5 feet away.
One of the things that was interesting too, Bryson included us into this, and we went and tested players with one length and standard sets around the greens. And in 3 of the 4 locations, we actually found closer shots to the hole and preference. We know that golfers out there struggle with their short game. So when you get short games in your hand, you can't chip, you have the yips, what do you go to? You go to a 7-iron or maybe an 8-iron. So Bryson's saying, we're just going to make the same swing with all those clubs. And if you look at all his short game shots, he has the same basic swing. So I'll let you talk about your short game a little bit.
How about a sand shot?
Well, yeah, sand shot, and that's a great point you bring up. Is it sand shots, or flop shots, right? How do you do that with these irons? And quite simply, you naturally adapt to it. Just what happens. You'll get used to it over time. And there's no real way of truly explaining because everybody's swing is different, and you'll figure it out. Your body, after a couple times, it'll figure it out, no problem whatsoever. In fact, because you're able to get the ball up higher with the more deflection, you can hit better bunker shots because of that fact.
When I can't choke down.
And yeah, absolutely. If you want to choke down, you can. If you're more comfortable with that, there's no issue. I can choke down all the way down to here. Look, that's now just like what I would do or what everybody else does, right? So
a lot of people ask, how do you hit a flop shot? He can go and show us.
So I square.
real quickly, I square the face, and then all I do is I open the face to where the face is pointed right, obviously, and I square the face back up to the target line, and I swing across my feet line. You got that?
Yeah.
No, I just put the face open and I swing. That's all. So I can flop shots. I can do whatever necessary. It's not hard to do at all.
And all he really varies is the power of the swing and that alignment. Short one, long one. When we had him down for our U.S. sales meeting, he was hitting them over a net that was probably 30 feet in the air right behind this fence where these wind blades are. That's how high you can hit it.
Check this out.
Bryson, do you ever choke down on it for a really short shot?
To be honest with you, I don't want to say it, but it's not nice. No, I don't because I want to make the same motion every single time. And if I was to do that, I'd be changing something, changing posture. That means that my body's going to have to compensate in some other way that I'm not used to. So if anything, I'm just trying, so I'll show you a little chip shot.
I don't want to hit that camera. So it's the same exact motion, just shorter.
It's the same exact motion, it's just a shorter swing. It's the same exact golf swing. Boom. Easy. Just go straight. Just like golf.
Discuss the woods. The woods. The driver, fairway woods, please.
Yeah. Okay, so to keep it kind of short, it's a long conversation. Loft is what produces distance. That's pretty much the main reason. Okay, other than the mass and the length, but for the most part, the loft, 4 degrees of loft is when swung around 90 miles an hour, equates to about 12 to 13 yards of distance. That's pretty close, right? And so when I get to the 4-iron, on my 20-degree iron, there's 20 degrees of loft on there, and I go to the hybrid, I want not a 12 to 13 yard gap, I want about a 20 yard gap. So it flies 220 with my 4-iron, and then my hybrid goes 240, right? So there's a 20 yard gap there. Well, what that means, I need 6 degrees of difference in loft. Well, what does that mean for the hybrid? Well, that goes down to 14 degrees of loft from the 20. So as I start extrapolating it back down, go to 3 wood, now I'm at, if I want to have 20 more degrees, let's say 6 or 7 more degrees of that, right? Now I'm down to 8 degrees with the 3 wood, or 7 degrees of 3 wood, and then you go to driver and 0 degrees. It doesn't make sense, unfortunately. And we're working on ways to figure that out, to hopefully potentially have a driver that's at 37.5 inches one day, make it way easier for everybody, that's for sure. Because everybody knows that when you have a shorter driver, you hit it a little straighter, right? It's kind of a known assumption. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna hopefully do it one day. But anyway, that's what I do with my woods. They have to be a little bit longer, unfortunately. But at the same time, it's a specialty shot for me. My irons are my bread and butter. The hybrid 3-wood driver are just specialty shots I have to practice.
So how long is the shaft in your driver?
44.5. It's just a little, but no, yeah, but it's because it's a specialty shot, and I realize that if I just practice that motion, I can still hit it straight, but it's not going to be as good as my iron dispersion.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have Bryson hit a few drivers. He calls his drivers 2 different names, or a few different names. The one that he uses most often called the fairway finder, so we think that's a really good one. He's got a new F7 Plus driver he's very excited about. That's as straight as it gets. Nice shot, Bryson. He's really excited about this driver. Just got it a little bit ago and been having some good luck with it so far.
It's going farther.
For me, it's going farther and it's going straighter. My driving accuracy has been a lot better already this year, and I'm actually getting farther, so it's great.
All right, maybe one more of these, and then you could do one more just to get it loose. So Bryson, let's talk about the weight settings that you have your driver set up right now. Just a quick conversation there.
Yeah, so this more of the weight is in the front of the, or closer to the head, and a little bit lower, obviously. And what that does is it lowers the CG, so it produces less spin. It's closer to the face, so it produces more. Okay, this is getting really technical. Anyway, I just have less spin, and that allows me to straighten it a little bit longer as well.
All right, so now we're going to do the shot you call the crank-a-day. Crank ball, crank ball.
We got flight scope to track this one.
I don't think we have a flight scope set up right now. Just here. So that's the let it loose swing. Bryson uses that when he needs it, and he hits it probably about 330 last time you were in. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.